Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. GabNet's creator and founder, Alex Bennett, is always looking for ways to stay on the cutting edge. He first revolutionized commercial radio. He built a career on being one of the first to speak to the new generation of the 60s. Then he reinvented himself on morning drive radio, where he was the first to use a live studio audience and guest comedians each morning. Another ratings winner. Next, Alex took off for outer space as he brought his unique perspective on politics and news to the satellites. Always a pioneer, his next stop was to create a unique format that no one else had ever done, with citizen panels on the internet. What's next? Is there any place left to innovate? Are there any stones left unturned? Introducing GabNet Live on Roku. That's right, GabNet Live on Roku. No lies, because you can't lie on the internet. GabNet is now available on your TV. You can listen to GabNet's 24/7 network stream or browse your favorite GabNet shows from the archives, just like on Gabnet.net. But that's not all. You can also watch video of Alex's archived live stream TV programs, as well as his televised Friday Night Ramble. It's all there for you, and all you have to do is turn on your Roku device, search the Roku store for GabNet Live, and add the channel to your lineup. Then sit back and enjoy. It's GabNet Live on Roku. Thanks, Alex. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of talk radio. Political opinions have been a staple of radio since the early 1920s. Talk radio as a listener participation format has existed since at least the mid-1940s. WMCA New York's Barry Gray was bored with playing music and put a telephone receiver up to his microphone to talk with band leader Woody Herman. This was soon followed by listener call-ins. In 1948, disc jockey Alan Courtney began a call-in program on WGBS Miami. The Alan Courtney Open Phone Forum was a conservative and anti-communist political forum with coverage area over the southeast United States and Cuba. In the 50s, Joe Pine, John Nebel, and Gene Shepard were among the first to explore the medium. In recent years, talk radio has gained popularity with many new formats flourishing, including All Sports in 1986 with the birth of WFAN New York. The subject matter for these formats are different, but the structure has remained the same for all these years. You might say, talk radio is a 20th century format. Until now, that is. It's 2014. And radio pioneer and innovator Alex Bennett introduces the Citizen Panel on GabNet, the first revolutionary idea in the format since its inception. The Citizen Panel allows for an open discussion to take place between the host and many listeners all at the same time. Listeners claim that it's addictive, producing stimulating discussions on any topic from politics to movies and entertainment. It's not liberal or conservative, it's open to all opinions and ideas. Log on to Gabnet.net to listen and find out how you can participate. Listen to the programs on GabNet and take a step into 21st century talk radio. Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Oh, hey everybody, how are you? Wait a minute, I'll turn on the fan for you, because I have my good wife over here who is still going through menopause, I think.
It never stops.
It never stops?
No.
Are you sure it never stops? What?
You're premenopausal or menopausal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It never stops.
Oh, okay. Turn your. I just want to see something. Just turn your whole body towards me and talk. because I want to see what the sound is like if you're sitting there.
Jack is sitting
Yeah,
there?
and you're sitting and talking.
How's this?
Yeah, don't talk into the mic. Just
Okay,
talk to me
just-
directly.
I'm talking to you directly. I'm just getting all
Yeah.
caught up with these wires.
I see. Okay, well, that'd be fine. Okay, now you can go back where you are. I'm testing something out here, folks. Is my problem.
What's this? Phil?
Just don't play with stuff.
It just fell off the table.
Well, it's just a thing that falls. Here, let me do this a little bit because we want to get you a little bit in the picture.
No,
there.
we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. We want them to see the whole T-shirt. See that? Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Friday night
You,
cabinet.
I'm wearing the same ones I wore last night. You got to get me new ones. These are getting frayed at the bottoms.
Yeah, we'll just cut them and hem them.
Probably. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you good at that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'll cut an inch and
Right.
then make a hem
You're
for you.
a sewing person. And let me go to the 2-shot. So anyway,
Oh, so they didn't see my pajamas?
what?
They didn't see my pants?
Oh, no, they didn't see your pants. Here, just,
Here we are. I'm
here we
wearing.
go.
I'm wearing.
These are the
Gabnet.
official. These are the Gabnet pants.
Can you see
Everybody
them?
wears them.
Yes.
And I'm not wearing the official Gabnet hat tonight, but you know,
It'll do.
the Tam O'Shanter or whatever. So you had the day off again?
Oh, so nice.
Did you ever work?
I work. I work very hard.
Gee, you get any Friday off you've got an excuse for. Today it was Good Friday, right?
Well, the building closes. We use the holidays that the building uses, and
Well,
it's
yeah,
a
but
union. It's a union building.
Yeah, the building closes at noon.
No, the building was closed today. Period.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They don't-
But Hans went in later because they called me because he set off the alarm.
Oh, okay. But-
So I know he went in. He was the only one in there.
Okay, that's fine.
But he just got back from 2 weeks in Taiwan. So
They don't know who Hans is.
one of my bosses,
Yeah.
great guy.
Oh boy, my eyes are burning.
Here
Is
we
it-
go.
No,
Where's
is
the-
it allergy season again?
Yeah, the pollen is out because my eyes
Boy,
are just going crazy.
I go crazy with it. You know, I go crazy with it. But I've been going crazy with just trying to.
You've been going crazy with life.
No, I've been.
You hollered at me today.
Well, because here's what you do. Alex, make dinner. It's 5:30. Wait a minute. 6 o'clock is dinner, and I was in the middle of I had a $3,000 camera that had a battery jammed in it,
I don't care. I was
and I was trying to get it out without breaking the fucking camera.
making jambalaya.
Yeah, but I mean, so you're going make it, and I'm going. It's not 6 o'clock yet. Leave me alone. And you just such a nudge about this stuff.
You're such
You know.
a pain in the ass.
What? I'm not a pain in the
You
ass.
are too,
No,
all the time.
I'm not a pain in the ass.
Let's hear about your ailments
What do you mean?
again.
I don't have any ailments outside of my eyes hurting and the fact that I've got my feet are numb, and
Here we go.
I have what else do I have wrong? I have the torn meniscus, which has been pretty good lately.
Well, you need
That's
something
a-
else to complain about.
You know, but torn meniscus is not a small deal. You know,
We're going to milk this one.
I'm milking it for all I can, like you milk that back of yours.
Well, that's serious.
Well, what do you think this is? What maybe my numb feet could mean it's foot cancer.
A knee is not as important as a back.
I have a funny feeling I'm going to be in a walker faster than you are.
I think you are already. You
Huh?
walk around like this.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I'm paying attention to my posture lately, and you're not even giving me credit
You've
for it.
never paid attention to
I've been paying attention to it.
You're not.
You know who's worse than me at that was Bruce Davies.
Oh, I have a picture of the two of you walking down, and both of you are walking
and
down.
I was
like
a lot
this.
younger.
About 4 years,
No.
8 years.
Yeah, about 8 years. But he's been dead, what, about 3-4 years?
Has
something
he?
like that already? Yeah. Yeah, you count your life by the people who've died.
And it's speeding up.
Yeah. So, anyway, so we just spent today watching the Netflix series on Trump, which is really
Very
good.
good.
It's really good.
See what an asshole he is.
Well, I mean, it's his life But it doesn't start out by going, and then he was born here, and then he grew up there, and so on. It starts out when he first comes to New York to start building.
As a young adult.
And really, it's not trying to take a position particularly. They have people on who do like him, but overall, he comes across as a pretty big asshole.
Yeah.
And, a terrible one, as a matter of fact. So, well, that's all I have to talk about. Thanks for being here.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
So.
Anyway, I went to the gym.
Yeah.
And then I made jambalaya, which we'll have on Sunday, I think.
Here's what happened. This is jambalaya that blew itself up. Okay, now let me explain this to you. She sends away, there's a deal at Omaha Steaks. You get like the starter pack. You get like 2 fillets and you get 2 sirloins. And then you get their jambalaya, which you can make. And it's all the various parts of a jambalaya.
Which is not jambalaya according to me.
No, which if she made it up, it would be two little bowls of jambalaya. So she takes that mix.
And became my base.
It became your base. Really not much of a base, and then she makes this huge pot of jambalaya. She goes out and she buys chicken, and she's got the sausages.
And we have shrimp.
Yeah, which, I mean, I'm not complaining. It's probably going to be very good.
It's all healthy.
No, it's not. What's healthy about jambalaya?
Chicken.
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Celery.
Yeah.
Onion.
Yeah.
Garlic.
Yeah.
Pepper.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
You forgot the sausage.
Sausage.
She always says it's good for you. It's really low carb. No, it's not.
Well, you don't have to eat the rice.
Well, I don't have to eat, but I have to eat the tomato.
Stop it.
Well, So why is it not going to be ready till Sunday?
Well, you want to let it. It's always best a day or two after.
So you got these Omaha steaks. And you heard that they were terrific, right?
Somebody in my office started buying their stuff.
But what they send you is some frozen slab of meat is really what it is. And we made some steaks last night.
Wasn't bad.
And they weren't bad, but the steaks you buy at Fairway are better. The steaks I get at Costco are better.
And the hamburger wasn't bad, but the hamburger that we get is better.
That I get right down the street is better.
Yeah.
So
we tried.
What is it with Omaha Steaks? I mean, I thought when you ordered Omaha Steaks, they sent you like a nice thick sirloin, that would just melt in your mouth. No. It's like, it was like eating tapas.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No.
It wasn't that bad. It was okay. I wouldn't order it again.
When you're on a low-carb diet like I do, you want a ton of meat. You don't want just a little handful of meat.
Anyway, I'm not ordering from there.
And they sent sausages. We haven't had the sausages yet.
Yeah, I put it in the jambalaya.
And
Alex, I put it in the jambalaya.
Oh, I wanted to make the sausage.
Sorry. You'll have it when we eat it.
Oh, damn it. So there's hardly any meat left. We ate most of that pack.
There's 2 steaks left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'll go to Costco tomorrow and buy some meat. I didn't buy meat this week because you said you sent away for the Omaha Steaks, and I figured we were going to get this big box of like really cool, wonderful, thick sirloin steak. No, it's a little puny
patty.
Kind of. It looks like.
It's like a patty.
It looks like a piece of beef that hasn't worked out. So. Oh man, my eyes are tearing and burning.
Too, yeah.
Oh, it's just, and my nose is dripping, and it's allergy season, folks.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, why is it allergy season?
Because the plant, you see out in the garden, the stuff's beginning to bloom already.
No, it's not blooming. The movie company installed.
No. Stuff that was there is blooming.
Tell them what, I haven't been down there, by the way.
Well,
so
I can tell.
I haven't seen it.
They're doing a production on Monday.
They're doing a movie.
A movie or television?
I don't know. You saw the sign.
So this morning, like at 6 a.m, they were out landscaping the whole courtyard. I mean, really landscaping it. They took out all the weeds and put fresh dirt and potted everything.
So
did they leave it?
And was that the movie company doing?
Yeah.
It? So what are they going to do when they leave? Are they going to put back all the weeds?
No, that's probably part of the agreement to leave. But I should have told them about that tree that fell, because that would have been very easy for them to put it in right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so but you don't know what the production is.
It has a name downstairs, but I forgot.
Yeah,
what
it's not
it was.
Mozart in the Jungle.
No, I would remember
about
that.
once a year they come here. Yeah.
But it's a big thing, and they give money to the Tenants Association, and it's a great place to film.
Well, it's very nice,
Yeah, they had the front gates open this morning. I mean, everything's wheeling in dirt and pebbles.
Really?
And
So they were
plants.
really doing a lot of landscaping.
They did the entire court.
Even the sides.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll have to go out of the house eventually and see it.
Yeah, by the time you do, it'll be fall.
Well, my question is, now you go out every day because you have to go to work. What's out there that I'm missing?
Life.
Oh, life? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you hung around this neighborhood
I leave the neighborhood.
where every block somebody's begging and
I leave the neighborhood. That's all over the city, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, there's one person that sits right near where my office is.
Has it gotten bad lately?
Yeah.
Really? I hear it's terrible in San Francisco. I hear there's like 10 cities in San Francisco.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, the tech companies moved up and pushed the mom and pop companies out, pushed the poor people out, which is what's happened in New York. They go to the Bronx now. They can't afford to live in Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah.
We couldn't live in Manhattan.
You know what's happening, though? All the little pleasures in life that I have are being assailed. Like Amazon's being assailed by Trump for ripping off the post office,
Oh, he's such an asshole. He doesn't do his homework.
Yeah.
He doesn't know shit.
Oh, and then I had Phil say last night, well, Amazon's put a lot of small businesses out of existence. I said, my radio career is gone because of technology.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
technology does that.
Times change.
Yeah, and we've all lived through certain things.
And by the way, if you want to be honest about it, Amazon hires, I don't know, how many hundreds of thousands of people
that are look at all the states and countries, because Canada was bidding too to have their northeastern site built in their state.
Yeah.
I mean, it brings like 150,000 jobs.
Yeah. So I mean, what's he griping about?
He's such a pain in the butt.
But he's not a pain in the butt. He's
just terrible.
He's dangerous. He's a person who's
he is dangerous.
You know what it is? Stupidity is running the country. I don't know, folks, if you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy, in which, because of inbreeding and stuff in the United States, a guy wakes up 200 years in the future and everybody's really stupid.
Or how about...
Because the smart people didn't want to have too many kids, but the poor people were having like 10 of them. Okay?
Or it's like the animation, the movie about the robot, what was it?
Yeah, Wall-E.
Wall-E, where all the people were so fat that they were stuck in these chairs all the time, remember?
Yeah.
They were so fat because they didn't do anything.
But Idiocracy, I have to show it to you. You never... what? You see...
I didn't say a thing.
You just said, eh.
Well, because you shove a lot of stuff down my throat. Well, by the way, what's his face recommend for movies of the week?
What did he like? I can't remember. I don't go to anything that he recommends anymore.
Well, we went to a couple that he recommended, and they were terrible. In fact, the one time I put a comment on his Facebook page. I said, "Don't listen to him." I said, "Thank you for the movie."
Well, there was one show we've only gotten halfway through called Collateral that he said was really good, and we was just a yawner. But then did he turn us on to that?
There was one that came around Christmas time,
No,
and it got like a 90-something in Rotten Tomatoes, and he raved about it, and we went to see it, and it was
there was
terrible.
a TV show we watched about a week ago. We binge watched. What was it? Do you remember now?
As soon as a bit finished binging,
Yeah.
it's like I forget them.
No, but it's a whole series, and
What was it about?
oh god, what was the name of it? Was it on Hulu or was it on Netflix?
We just got finished. Did we finish Counterpart? Is there one more?
There's one more Counterpart tomorrow night.
Guy in my office is watching it now because I
but
recommended it.
Oh God, what would I just?
Oh, that's the one, the Channel 4 in BBC in London.
BBC,
did.
yeah.
About the about the Russians.
Oh yeah, okay.
The
Yeah,
Russians.
it's about
It's
this
called-
kid who was born born in Russia.
It's called
It's called McMafia.
McMafia.
Yeah, he recommended that,
and that's good.
It was really
very
good. It was really good. It's on.
Well, it's the first time in 10 years, Alex.
Huh?
It's the first time in 10 years.
What
that he's recommended something that was good.
Snyder's been right.
Yes. Does anyone out there listen to his reviews? When you call up later, let us know.
Yeah,
I'd be curious.
I've thought about playing them on Friday nights instead of having you come.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah,
Do that.
Yeah, I'll do that instead of you from here on in.
Thank you.
Because nobody wants you.
I know.
In fact, nobody's writing anything about us talking together.
Well,
so.
Nobody wants to listen to old people.
Of course. Of course.
Like my T-shirt.
End gun violence. Very good. Yeah. How about Laura Ingraham? All the advertisers.
I'm glad. She's such a cunt.
I mean, even though she apologized, the advertisers are still leaving her.
Good. She's a cunt.
Well, you know,
it's finally catching up with her.
Yeah.
She said so many bad things about people over the years. She deserves everything she gets.
Like, what did she say about somebody?
I can't remember. But it's almost time.
I have to blow my nose.
Well, you better turn the sound off because we don't want to hear it.
I turned it off.
Okay.
Yeah. I never fart on the air.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I never fart on the air.
You do.
But I make sure I fart when I'm in with you.
Yes, you do.
And you make sure you fart when I'm in
Boy,
there.
do I.
She has this orange spray.
It's orange extract. There's no chemicals in it.
Yes, and then whenever she farts, I know she has because I've got suddenly the spray of orange in my face. And what it then does is the orange mixes with the fart and gives you fart-smelling orange.
It's better than Airwick.
Well, how do you know?
Because it has no chemicals in it. I like the smell of it. And I'm allergic to all that spray, so I can't use it anyway.
Oh, you're allergic?
Oh, there's chemicals, yeah.
I'm gonna go buy with it. They have this mist one, this new mist thing. I want one of those.
No.
What they should do is combine like an Echo with an air spray. You can say, Marjorie just farted.
I think it's time.
No, it's not. So, let me see here. Oh, so Shecky today called me using his Echo.
Which one?
One of the 5 or 10 he bought. He suddenly went crazy with Echo. And I would buy a couple more, but I can't figure out where I would put them. I wouldn't put it in here. Because Echo has a tendency to...
We had the one in the bedroom, we're watching television or we're chatting, then all of a sudden, out of the blue comes this, I'm not sure what you just said.
Yeah, or that's a thing that I've been wondering myself or something. I don't know. And it's like Echo has a
mind of its own.
No, she's getting senile.
It's like,
you know,
I've been thinking about that too.
We're sitting there, we're watching TV, and all of a sudden she says something, and we look over and we go, "What was that? What the fuck was that about?" You know, what went on TV? We have it set so she'll respond to the word echo, okay?
Because Alexa is too close to
Alexa's too close to my name.
Yeah.
However, we do have a friend named Echo.
Yes, we do.
So I wonder what they would do in their house.
They have an Alexa. They
say Alexa. Alexa probably would be easier than Echo. Somehow I always have to remember to say Echo.
Well, I think of Echo and then I'm able to say it.
Yeah, but if she will tell Echo shut the fuck up and things like that. Which does Echo respond to it when you say shut the fuck up?
Probably not.
Yeah. Oh, so I want to tell you, Vernon, you just cost me a lot of money, or not a lot of money.
What did Vernon
do? It cost me
$29.
Well, he
is he?
Here it is. He told me to get one of these.
You got that? That's the first one, right?
Oh, this is the new one.
Oh, but
and because what happened is
you got the exact same thing again.
No, it's not the same exact thing. This is the other one. This one.
That works like a charm.
Yeah. Well, what it is it's a Bluetooth transmitter. No, don't come over yet. It's a don't you dare. It's a Bluetooth transmitter, and the one that I bought, there is a delay. There's a delay there's a delay with this one, so there's an echo.
Life is
when
fun.
I talk. So Vernon said, "Get this one because it isn't a problem." So I got this one. Guess what, Vernon? There's a delay.
Is Vernon the one with?
Yeah. I think it was Vernon. Yeah. This one, however, has a longer delay than this one. So hopefully,
maybe the third one you'll get will be.
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough that it's annoying to me. You know.
You can't use it.
Right.
Okay, it's time.
No, it's not time yet. It's not time. You got 3 minutes. You got to keep sitting over there. What are you doing?
I'm coming over.
What you're not.
I'm over.
Oh, damn it! Damn you! Huh? Well, come on over. Let me just get rid of this. I got to get some stuff up. You see, I wasn't ready because you decided, you always have to do things earlier than they should be done.
Well, it's past my bedtime.
Well, I mean, past my bedtime, and I have to get to sleep because I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go do nothing tomorrow.
I'm going to the gym.
You're going to the gym, yeah. She forgot a doctor's appointment yesterday.
Oh, my God. The most important doctor of all my doctors.
Yeah.
And it takes like 6 or 7 months to see him.
Why does it take that long? Have they pushed up your appointment?
So she left a message that she's working on it and she'll call me.
But anyway, she forgot completely
and
about it.
And it's a major doctor appointment.
Huh?
It was a major doctor
appointment. Yeah.
I had to get blood work.
Yeah.
And it was the end of a 2-year with a medicine that I was using. And this was like the big meeting. Now, where do we go from here? So 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the office, I remembered that I had the appointment. I had everything in my bag to bring to him. Everything was 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I left the office and went and took my bus home. I totally forgot I had the doctor's appointment.
You totally forgot you had the doctor's appointment.
And I got home and I realized that I forgot.
There wasn't enough time to go back and see him?
No.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That's okay. It's what is it? Fruteo?
That's the shots.
And the shots are for what?
Bone loss.
Bone loss. How's your bone loss?
Oh, there's an increase in bone mass over the last 2 years.
You've had an increase in bone mass.
Yeah.
I think maybe Phil might have a lack of bone mass. With the
like you.
Yeah. Our lines are open.
Okay,
I'm not going to tell anybody. If they don't want to call, they don't have to call.
Please, this girl's tired.
Because my eyes are burning tonight. I would
Mine
love
too.
to go to sleep early or get out of here early.
I
have a lot of shows I have to catch up on.
We had a guest, and of course it threw Alex off because he couldn't go into the other bedroom to watch his television. You watched it from here?
Yeah, I watched him in here.
You didn't go in the living room?
No. Better. Just fine. I sit in the chair here and I watch the TV over there.
Yeah, so you're fine.
And I can also potchkey around with the computers at the same time. Okay. So, it works okay.
All right, sweetie.
You can't leave me till I have somebody here with me. Oh, go anyway. Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Goodbye.
No.
Leave.
No.
Get out of here.
No.
I don't want you here. Go.
No.
I never loved you anyway.
I know.
Go.
Well, that we know.
Go. Oh, boy. Yeah.
Jeff Stein.
I'm doing my interview with Jack on Monday.
Jeff.
I'm doing my interview with Jack on Monday. I don't know when we're going to run it or how we're going to run it.
It doesn't matter. You'll worry about that later.
I'll worry about it later. Here comes Jeff Stein. He's the first up tonight.
Hey,
hello,
there he
Jeff.
is.
There you are.
How you doing?
How you?
Happy Passover.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
Passover to you, too.
What's the Jewish word for Passover?
Pesach?
Pesach.
Happy Pesach.
Yeah.
I have a box of matzah that I bought today.
You're talking to the microphone.
I have a box of matzah that I bought. Whole wheat matzah.
Yeah, whole wheat matzah. Who eats whole wheat matzah?
Supposed to be whole wheat.
But I mean, when they were going across the desert and they were leaving,
I want some of that.
They were leaving the Pharaoh and they were running away from him. They didn't say, "Did anybody bring some whole wheat matzah?" I can't go on this trip if you don't have whole wheat matzah. Don't you know that it's unleavened bread, not unleavened whole wheat?
Why don't you give it to
For Passover?
Yeah.
No, because you'll drop them.
I'll put him here anyway.
Yeah.
You got to see what my wife is doing for
Passover?
Passover.
Tomorrow night we're doing our Seder.
Hello.
And I'm
Hi.
getting ready for Easter.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, I see.
Hi,
Okay.
how are you?
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
Show
Can you
us.
see my work?
Let's see.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
oh,
Can you see the Easter eggs?
so you're a Jew who just doesn't know which holiday to have.
Oh, I'm not Jewish.
Oh, you're
Oh.
you're not Jewish.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm the Shiksa girl.
Oh, you married a
A
shiksa.
Gentile.
A shiksa.
Hey, baby.
A gently.
That is me.
Did your
She's very
parents,
Gentile.
Did your parents sit Shiva? I have a friend from high school who he married a black woman,
Yeah,
and
talk into the
his
microphone.
parents sat Shiva for him
Yeah.
until the baby was born.
I
Once
see.
the baby was born, then they came back into the fold. Yeah.
New rules.
New
Our
rules.
family was all good, right?
Yeah.
Your family was excellent.
Yeah,
And my family was pretty good.
that's great. How long are you married?
32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my family was excellent considering you were married with 2 kids. You know, you were divorced with 2 kids. I thought they
Yeah.
were good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's terrific.
32 years. Wow. That's,
Kevin's with us early tonight. Hi,
Hi,
Kevin.
Good evening.
Yes, you have to talk because there are some people who are listening to this as a
Kevin,
radio
where
show.
are you? Because it's all light outside.
He's in California.
Oh, okay. So it's what?
California.
7?
Yeah.
7:30?
And by the way, you will never hear the end of Omaha Steaks.
What do you mean?
Why? What happened to that?
You
the
tried
steak.
They will
them?
continue to send you more and more coupons for more and more
Oh,
deals.
I'm getting them already.
Are
Now
you
that-
really?
Yeah, because I set up the account, and so I'm
Oh.
constantly getting
Well,
them.
I thought that because, you know, it was like Omaha Steaks and, we've got these.
Fresh cut off the beef and sent
all
to
that,
you.
that they would be sensational. But they're not
Oh,
even
yeah, they're-
not-
You know, they're okay. They're just little medallions of beef.
Exactly, 4 ounces.
Yeah, yeah.
We
8
got them as a
ounces.
gift one time, and then all of a sudden you get on their mailing list and you get nothing but, we'll send you $85 worth, $300 worth of meat for $50.
$69.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
And you'll get
we had
little-
the hamburgers tonight, and the hamburgers were okay.
They were tiny.
Yeah,
they
they're-
were
it's
tiny. They were
nothing
tiny.
fancy.
But they're not as good as the ones I make from the grocery store down the street.
Right.
And
Yeah,
the
exactly.
meat isn't as good as the stuff I get at Costco.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
You know. And,
Yeah.
and because Phil, joined the NRA again. Re-upped his membership with the NRA just to piss us
Did you
off.
get a travel bag?
No,
So
I got ripped.
He gets a jacket when he dies.
You know, the deal was a lifetime member gets a leather jacket.
Yeah.
So
You
said,
get 2 jackets if you kill somebody.
When do you
Right.
get your leather jacket?
you don't if you pay it quarterly.
Oh,
So if I sent them a check for $1,500, they'd send me a jacket
okay.
emblazoned with the initials NRA.
Oh, wonderful.
Proudly display it. And but since I'm making quarterly payments, I'm a stiff. I get a card and I get a sticker.
Well, if I were you,
You get
I
a
would stop.
sticker?
I would stop sending them the fucking money.
Yeah, you got the card.
I would stop
Send you a
sending
sleeve
them
at
money.
a time.
No, really, because you got snockered on that deal. You thought you were going to get yourself a.
Phil, did you see my shirt?
N gun.
And it's if she stands up, violence.
Violence.
Yeah.
And it matches.
sure.
You see my plaid pants?
And gun. No
Now,
violence.
of course, but on the back, isn't it a target?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a target.
Where'd you get that shirt? At Target? Yeah.
It came from Target. Yeah.
One, my nose is dripping. Excuse me, folks.
With that, I'm going to say goodnight. Good
You see,
night,
I could
guys.
have. I
Good
could have
night.
turned off the mic
I
if
know,
you
but you
weren't
never
here.
do. You never do.
I turn off the microphone when I
Never.
blow my nose on the
Never.
air.
Never.
All right.
Okay.
Could have done one of
You're
those
right.
baseball rocket snuts too.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just feeling tired. I've really got these. Are you having allergy problems, Jeff, up there?
No, I don't. Not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Phil?
40 years.
I'm feeling all right. Although this was my first day at work, and I left a little early to go to the chiropractor, and then didn't get a chance to mail off your thing. But
That's okay. You'll mail it off within the next 3 years.
yeah,
I'm sure.
I'll do it in the morning. I go in late on Saturday.
Does the chiropractor massage your prostate?
Not anymore.
Yeah, you can't get a prostate massage anymore.
No.
Yeah. But are you feeling pretty good?
Yeah, except for the fact that if you don't change the Depends fast enough, they disintegrate.
What?
And they have little crystals in them. These are the crystals that must, but I don't know, it was maybe 3 hours, and a couple times I didn't think about it and didn't make it to the restroom. And the Depends, the pads inside, actually the paper disintegrates.
Well, that's a mean joke.
Huh?
That's a mean joke on the part of the Depends company.
Get on you.
Huh?
So I have to be a little more careful and practice these Kegel things. But I'm getting back to normal. It's just that the doctor says I shouldn't be, and that it should take about 6 months.
Well, I mean, it just appears to me that after all these years of removing prostates, that they would have had some kind of better way of handling the whole situation.
They do. But I went to Kaiser, and so what can I tell you?
Yeah.
It's not so bad. I mean, here I am. It's 2 weeks. I went back to work. I saw that nobody wrote any business, which wasn't good. But
Yeah. But you could work the whole day without too much trouble.
Yeah. I have my own bathroom in my office, so it's easy for me to just get up and.
But you must be happy with your urine flow.
It's I'm actually too happy with it. It's sometimes it's when I don't want it to. So.
See, folks, this is what you do when you come to GabNet. It should be called GeezerNet. That's what we should call it. I'm renaming it GeezerNet. So how's it going, Phil? Well, I didn't pee my pants today.
Well, hey, I came up with another one since you didn't like the one I had last night. How about Alex Bennett, activist for the ages?
For the aged.
Yeah, well, aged or ages,
Yeah, well, well, thank God I don't pee my pants, but
Yeah, but if you're looking for a position as to where that career positions, I think that's what it means.
Yeah, thanks for helping me position myself.
Well, I position myself quite often. It's sometimes not quickly enough.
But it's I mean, it's just I'm glad that it's over for you, and it looks like you're clean, and it doesn't look like you have any cancer left, and
The guy said, man, I didn't Google it, so I don't fully understand what it meant, but he said that the margins were clear.
Yeah, the margins are the margins of the area where they took the stuff out and stuff.
Oh, I see. And now they just in 6 weeks I'll get another PSA test, and they want to make sure it's 0.
Yeah. Who just called us? Who is this?
Schmoody!
Oh, it's my old girlfriend, Kathleen, also known as Schmoody.
I'm Miss Sater over at Gary's.
You're at the Seder?
No, I said I missed.
Oh, you
that.
missed the Seder. Yeah, we have this. My business manager's name is Gary, and Gary holds a massive Passover. How many people? Maybe 50 people or something, all at one big, long table.
And the shiksa. It was awesome.
And the shiksa. You were the official shiksa for the evening.
Yes.
Blonde Amazon. Yes.
Yes. But it was so fun.
Oh, what? Oh, those? Yeah. Very nice. They were very nice. But, Marjorie mentions to me that we never get invited to Passover anymore. And, well, I said to her, do you really want to go? And she says, not really. I like the food, but if it takes too long to eat it, I don't want to go, But
That's funny.
30,000 Palestinians were trying to get into Passover service in Israel today. They said that they didn't have a good Seder on their side of the fence, and so they tried to
Is this a
to hop the
joke?
fence.
Is this a joke?
No, on the level. 16 dead, 750 injured.
Trying to get to
That's
Passover?
terrible.
Well, it so happens that there was a Passover uprising, and the Hamas leaders said to go in and take Israel back from the Israelis. And so they 30,000, they expected 100,000, but 30,000 hit the fences, and they were trying to blow the fence up, do things like that so they can get across and do major damage. They put some resistance.
What is that whistling?
Don't know.
Sounds like somebody's whistling. I know, it's none of you
That's
guys.
my son, Sean. Don't whistle, they can hear you.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yes.
Well, tell the little brat to shut up, okay?
Hey, they said for me to tell the little brat to shut up.
Yeah.
No, you said you wouldn't hit me in public. Hey, remember that time we were at the hardware store? It was somewhere in Marin. And you would turn to me and I would cringe like you were going to hit me. And remember these guys started giving you dirty looks?
Oh,
and you
yeah.
were telling me knock it off.
Well, you and I, she and I
Goodmans.
used to have a lot of practical jokes we would play outside. And today, a lot of them especially would not go over very well.
No, they wouldn't, but boy, they were funny.
Yeah.
The only hardware store I can think of, Marin, is Goodman's. Right off.
It's a huge. Is it still there? Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Wow.
It's a nice
That's
store.
probably exactly what it was. But I was messing with him, and these two guys are giving him dirty looks. And then, I thought,
I remember you and I.
I could have been evil and really pushed it, but I would never do that.
You and I wanted to find somebody who could teach us stunt work for movies so that we could we could literally have fist fights with each other, without actually hurting ourselves, right?
That just would have been fantastic.
And then, so we just break out into a roaring fight, you and I, fist fight.
Totally.
Yeah. That was the kind of sense of humor we had, that. And I remember once, my best thing with her, you're going to love this, guys. We're going up a flight. We've been doing all kinds of things to, prank each other during that day. And I had this back stairwell. It was kind of like it was a fire escape, really. And I was walking up ahead of her, and she was right behind me at ass level. And so I let one go. I think that was one of the classic moments. You do remember that,
you
don't
got me good, you asshole.
Yeah, and she swore she'd get me good, and she did later on. She was very, This is why the relationship at once was a terrific relationship, but one that would have never worked.
Well, you know what? A friend of mine was asking me about you, and she was talking about video games and stuff, and I said, because, I never really got into video games, but, we'd be laying on the bed and you'd be playing video games, and I'd be happy as a lark watching you play because I would die laughing. Man, you used to get pissed playing.
Yeah, well, I took my playing of video games seriously. But it was we had our that and the Christmas card we turned out. That was another good hoot. Where we sent out
funny.
a Christmas card with a family portrait, but we got her cousins. It
was my
nephew,
niece, my two nieces and a nephew, and as soon as the flash went off, Raven and River just lost it.
Yeah, and so we have a Christmas picture, me in a sweater, and we have the Christmas background. We went down to Sears and had Sears do it, so it looked really authentic. And then we sent out these cards that said, "Happy Holidays from the Schwarzmans."
From the Schwarzmans. Oh,
and we would send these
that's
to all
so
the people
funny.
we knew, and they would write us. They would call us, going, "I didn't know you got married. I didn't know you had kids."
And where did that blonde bitch come from? She doesn't look Jewish at all.
That was I think our best prank, but
Yes.
it was also the most.
Well, no. Remember when the internet first came out, and so remember they'd have those what were they called, avatars, and so we'd pick an avatar, and I'd be talking, and then they'd say, "Hey, I really want to see you." And remember, we'd turn on the camera and it would be you mouthing what I was saying.
Oh, yeah, right. But anyway,
we were jerks.
We were assholes. But not to each other.
Totally.
No, not to each other, though, to the rest of the world. And I think that was important, you know.
It was important. It was very important.
So how is Trump...
Anyways, hey, I just wanted to say hi.
Okay. It's always nice to see. I do have ex-girlfriends that I'm still friends with, you know. So,
yes.
You know. Was I a sexist pig?
No, not at all. You know, you were very much a gentleman.
Yeah. See, that's what they all say. You know. And then they leave me. You know, but anyway. Thank you very much, dear.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's Schmoody, ladies and gentlemen, the famous Schmoody.
And
yeah. Anyway, we're back to this. Anybody? You got to watch this documentary on Trump on Netflix. It's really good. Now I know Phil is thinking it's probably really good because it puts down Trump. No, it pretty much just shows Trump throughout his life and the things he got himself into and the bankruptcies and the things like that. And after it's all over, you know, you really see him slowly in this thing turn into an asshole. Because in the beginning, he was just kind of a charming playboy, you know? And then he slowly turned into the asshole we all know now.
What is the place that the show is on?
It's on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a 4-part series of about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour an episode. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll find it worthwhile.
What time period does it cover?
It covers it. You know what it does? I really liked about it. Most of these things would go, and so you know, the family started out with blah 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 and so on, so on, Drumpf coming over and so on. No, they didn't do any of that. They started out with Donald Trump deciding to go to New York and do some projects to try and get into the New York market. And he did so with the Commodore Hotel, which he changed into the Hyatt. And then it talks about him building Trump Tower. But then pretty much everything else in his career was a failure. You know? Yeah. I mean, just he said...
I didn't see this, but didn't he sort of con his way into that Hyatt deal? Telling them one guy
well,
that
he actually did the refurb of the Commodore Hotel, but then it was named the something Hyatt. I can't remember what it's called now. It's still there, the Park Hyatt, I think it's called. And I don't know why Hyatt got into it, unless he started running out of money and he needed them as a partner or something like that. But he didn't put his name on it, okay? And then he bought the Plaza Hotel, which after a while he couldn't afford any longer, so he sold it to, I think, a Saudi, if I'm not mistaken. And now the Chinese own it. And then he built Trump Tower. But then when he went to build, when he went down to Atlantic City, he had the Trump Plaza, and he had the Trump, I forget what the other hotel was, and then he decided to build the Taj Mahal, which
revitalize a whole tract of land that was in shambles.
No, you're talking about the Woolman skating rink. That was a very small thing that he did.
It's a big tract of land.
No, it was the size of a skating rink.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now there's two other things that I know about him.
Yeah.
Is there was a place in the Bronx, which I always thought was just a dump, and he turned it into a golf course, a crappy golf course, but a golf course. The other thing is, he used to have an airplane company.
He had an airline.
Airline, yeah. It was called Trump whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And that lasted maybe a year.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Bro.
Trump Steaks didn't work out. Trump Ties didn't work out. But then the thing that was his undoing was when he built the Taj Mahal, he had no respect for the fact that, you know, you can only owe so much money where it's impossible for you to ever pay back the debt. And what they said is the Taj Mahal would have had to earn $1 million a week in order to pay off the notes. And that's where it went wrong. And he, you know, when you say he's a good businessman, you just don't make that kind of deal. You build it cheaper, you know, or you don't build it at all if that's going to be what you're going to have to pay out.
We have financing at a different rate, and that financing pulled out, and that's what put him in.
No, that's not what this documentary said. He, to begin with, had too much financing. He had too much of a interest debt that was impossible. Even if, they say, even if the place were packed every single day, okay, he couldn't possibly make the banknotes. That it was that badly thought out. They say it was, what?
I don't know if you listened to his speech the other day in Ohio. You know, I only listened to probably about 10 minutes of it, but I went back and forth between Fox and MSNBC because I like to do their comparison on how they cover it. You know.
Yeah, right.
And MSNBC was strictly stuck on him, but I'd go to Fox and you'd see him go back and forth, and every time he talked about himself and how well he did with building, and they'd back off on the camera and show these construction workers standing there, and he'd talk about, you know, I did pretty good with my building and how well I did with building. Wasn't I good? And the guys in the hard hats were just sitting there, and they wouldn't clap or nothing. And I'm going, geez, you know, Fox was backing off on all this and showing these, and there'd be about 3 or 4 guys clapping, and he'd talk about how good he was with building and how good he was with hiring these union workers, and none of them were clapping. And these are the guys that were doing all the building, and how he was going to build up the infrastructure and how well he was doing. And I was looking at that and I was going, holy shit, this is strange.
Message, Kevin. I got the message. I got a different message. I got the message that he was saying, hey, I'm like you. I build stuff too.
I was getting that message too, but it wasn't going across to the audience there, especially the audience they put behind him in the bleachers.
Oh, well, I got it. You know, I was just watching on TV. You know?
Yeah, I was watching too, but I didn't see that translating to them.
What was very telling,
much as they would want it to,
was when his father died, they held a funeral service for him at the Fifth Avenue Church here in Manhattan. And he gave a eulogy. And they said the eulogy that he did was nothing but him talking about his own accomplishments. Nothing about his father's accomplishments. Everybody was appalled by that. Yeah. But that's how he is, you know. And that he's very thin-skinned. And they put the whole reason he ran for president was because Obama put him down at the correspondence dinner. And he didn't like the fact that somebody was making a joke at his expense, which if you go to the correspondence dinner and you're well known, you better be expected to be roasted. You know, that's part of the territory.
Yeah, but if he was that thin-skinned and ran and lost, that wouldn't have accomplished his issues with Obama. You know, it wouldn't have done anything.
He has tried to undo everything Obama's done because of that correspondence dinner. Most of the people in this documentary seem to agree with that assessment. That in fact, Roger Stone, if you remember, Roger Stone has been in a lot of trouble with his.
No, I was supposed to see him on a Commonwealth Club thing, and they canceled it.
Yeah, well, he's in a lot of trouble because there's a lot of thing about him dealing with the Russians and so on. And Trump has constantly said about Roger Stone, oh, well, he was a minor functionary in the campaign. Roger Stone was with him for something like 10 fucking years, working for Trump as his political analyst.
Worked for everybody.
No, but he worked for Trump, and Trump says, oh, he's just a minor functionary. I don't even know. Roger who? You know. But no, they say that moment he left the correspondence dinner early. He was very upset by it. And if you listen to what Obama was saying, it was all good-natured stuff. It wasn't, slamming him. It was your typical roast stuff, And and he just, they say he was just so, that's when he decided that he was going to run for president, And so now look what you got, Phil.
I'm happy with him.
Oh, you're happy with him? Do you have any stocks?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess you could be happy with him. I
don't gamble.
Somebody said he is the president for stupid people.
Well, there must be a lot of stupid people out there because
there weren't enough to get him elected by a majority. He got elected by the Electoral College.
Elected by a majority of Americans. The problem was that the majority that voted were illegal aliens.
Oh, I see. Illegal aliens. It's so easy for an illegal alien to vote because they can just go right in and show those phony papers they have.
Show any papers. They just say, hey, my name is Gonzalez and I'm here to vote.
You can't vote unless you're a citizen, Phil.
Yeah, but there's these dead guys on the roster. So you just go in, you say, yeah, that's me. You can register to vote. Nobody asks you for your ID when you register to vote.
I see. Make America smart again. Yeah, you got that from Jack, right?
Jack, yeah.
By the way, I got to put. Hold on a second. Just keep talking. I got to put some.
Come on, Phil, you need one of these.
In my eyes.
I
Do
got the
I
hat.
have any of that stuff here? Let me see here. Do I have any of it? No.
But it's not so smart. It's only great.
Oh, I'm just going to be tearing like crazy and not being able to do anything about it. Okay, well. I usually, if I take some eye drops, I may have to go out to the other room here and get the eye drops.
Take Claritin D for.
That stuff doesn't work. I'll show you what I do have this. Maybe I'll try it, see if it mitigates what I'm going through right now. This is generic Flonase.
Oh, all right.
And then you stick it in your nose. Do you know what? Do you know? Did I tell you what we got? What the drug we just got? Marjorie, has to take a Dilaudid.
Yeah.
So the insurance company said, we're going to give it to you free. Here is some, what's it called? What's it? Narcan, I think it's called.
I don't know.
It's the spray that you put in somebody's nose if they overdose, and it automatically stops them from overdosing. So we now have that in the house. So if any of you want to come over and overdose, we're ready for it.
I thought the way they did the overdose was the way they did it on Pulp Fiction, when Uma Thurman snorted up that heroin, and then all of a sudden, boom, they got him.
Well, that was before Narcan.
Oh, okay.
That was the only way you could do it before Narcan. But Narcan supposedly has saved a lot of lives. And cops, I'm surprised you don't know about it. Cops carry it now.
Well, I haven't been a cop for 13 years.
You haven't been a cop for 13 years, but cops carry it now. My mic was up too high. Cops carry it now, and all schools have it. And the company that makes it is giving it away free to police departments and to schools.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, next time I overdose, I'll have some on me.
Yeah. But they gave it to us for free, but they said the next one it'll be $30. But, we're probably never going to need it. And the reason they gave it to her, it's strange, because they didn't think, hey, Marjorie's a drug addict and she's going to OD. But if she perhaps takes 2 doses and doesn't realize she took 2 doses and she goes into an overdose of some sort, we have the way to solve the problem.
So how many overdoses do you get in a bottle?
Narcan, you only get 1 spray of Narcan. Once you use the spray, that's it. You put it in 1 nostril, squeeze, and how she put it was, here's what you do. You take this, you squeeze it, right? She had a fake one, and she says you squeeze it in and shove it up all the way for a whole nostril's worth, all right? And then call an ambulance. That was the second rule, call an ambulance.
Yeah, or don't do the drugs in the first place, or make sure you don't double up.
Well, she has to do them because otherwise she'd be in a great deal of pain.
I kept asking them for Dilaudid when I was in the hospital, and I was in pain. And they kept wanting to give me Vicodin. And, and then they gave me something intravenously, but I wanted, because I had some of that Dilaudid, and it's good stuff.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. For the prostate thing, you wanted to?
Yeah. After the operation, there was a significant amount of pain.
Did you inform them that the only reason why you wanted the operation was for the drugs?
No, but I kept telling them, I listened to your advice, and they asked me, what is your pain threshold? I said, it's 10. Okay.
Yeah. No, you never say, oh, it's 5, because then they just give you the light dose, right? But you go, oh man, this kidney stone, 10. And then next thing you know, you're flying high. It's wonderful. I loved it. It was wonderful. Days passed by, days passed into nights. I didn't know. I didn't care.
Well, I don't get high. I don't do illegal drugs. So when
maybe you should, Phil.
Yeah, but when it was legal to do it, I said it's a 10. Give me, and and they're giving me.
I don't think Patrick does drugs either, do you, Patrick?
No, in fact. The last surgery I had last year for kidney stone, and the one that I'll be having next month, my pain threshold, I don't have any pain. I just tell them outright it's 0. So I don't want any drugs. I don't want to be any more out of it than I am coming out of the anesthesia. So yeah.
Hey, if we do drugs, they pull our Republican card.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mean, when I had this pain from the kidney stone, and kidney stone pain is pretty relentless. Did you get pain from it, Patrick?
No, I don't. But everybody I talk to, male or female, that's had them, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I don't get any sensation that I have it at all. So it's a blessing, but it's also a curse, right. Because if I could feel it in the beginning stages, might be able to take care of it sooner, but that's right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did it, I did the drugs, did the Dilaudid that they, would give me whenever I would say, oh, it's a 10. And it was painful, and it immediately mitigated the pain. The pain went away. It may not have gone away, you just didn't care if you had it, it just went.
When I got the kidney stone last year, I felt uncomfortable. It hurt. So I drove myself to the hospital, to the emergency room. I get into the emergency room, and as I'm walking towards the desk, the pain got so severe that they had to put me in a wheelchair and roll me in. I went from, hey, this is uncomfortable, to it's hard to walk, to I can't stand up anymore.
Yeah, kidney stones are pretty. I mean, I'd never had one in my life, and they kept me in the hospital for 4.5 days waiting for it to pass. They wouldn't let me out. Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, the other thing that I'm dealing with, I know I told Phil this. I don't think I mentioned it here, is I've got a bladder stone.
By the way, folks, once again, this is Bennett's waiting room. Go ahead.
Yes, I've got a bladder stone. And I've never had one of those before, and it's 1/2 of an inch. So
that's a biggie.
And what it does is it bounces around inside the bladder and makes the bladder spasm. Therefore, like Phil needing Depends, that's what I would need. So I'm constantly pissing myself for the last week and a half, and will be until my surgery on the 19th.
I understand why nobody wants to listen to this show.
Hey, I got to go get a colonoscopy.
Really?
Yeah.
Between the four, at least the four of us, we're the ones that, have all of these health issues. Alex is only a complainer. If, he complains about health issues, but he is healthier than a horse.
You know what? I'm going to call in that night, and I'm going to do it live from the table. How about that?
Are they doing it? Wait a minute. Wait. Are they doing your colonoscopy at night?
Maybe I'll arrange that.
Just record it.
A nighttime colonoscopy. How romantic! How romantic! A nighttime colonoscopy.
We'll do a journey. We'll do a journey through the colon.
Well, you know, what's his name? Jimmy Kimmel just did a colonoscopy on his TV show.
Oh, yeah. He tried to do that Katie Couric thing, right?
Yeah, Couric was his advisor on it. You know, and I have been known, as you may well know, of posting because they give you pictures of your of your polyps and stuff.
Your journey through
of the you know, the pictures that they take, and then I put them up on my Facebook page, and I just title them "Inside Alex Bennett."
Dang, I missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. Just go back; it's there somewhere.
Alex on Demand.
Yeah, but I love those pictures. They're cute. I look adorable in them. I really do.
Do you?
Yeah.
I saved the stents that they put into my kidney that I have to pull out when I remove the piss bag, and I keep those for Christmas decoration.
Do you really?
They're reusable?
Yeah, because they're bright green. So I just wash them off, and I save them, and I put them on my little Christmas tree.
Oh, there's the screws that...
That's all the hardware that came out on my leg.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, and you framed it. You framed it.
Yeah, I saved it.
That's so fucking cool. You framed it.
Yeah, that's the stuff that came out of my leg that was all infected.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No wonder. It looks like you went to Ace Hardware for...
Exactly what it is.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to hold it against my doctor because he infected me with this shit.
Yeah. So you got to frame. That's wonderful.
Was there some reason you got infected? Was it a botched operation? It wasn't.
Yeah, the wound was open, and then it got staph, and then when he pulled all those screws out, it was open, and it got more staph, and it went into the bone, and then it all closed up and sealed all the staph inside the bone. It became osteomyelitis.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was hell to get out of it. Took almost a year.
Right.
Well,
it was very close, and I still could. I'm talking amputation probably within the next year, maybe.
What? No.
Yeah, because my heel is falling off right now.
How is all of this happening? I don't understand.
Well, it's almost like cancer, but it's slowly. The osteomyelitis. Usually, when you get it, it never goes away. I've got beads in my bone right now that have antibiotics in them that they never took out. But they went in 3 times to put these antibiotic beads in there and took them out, put new ones in, took them out, put new ones in. And now it's after 4 stints of intravenous antibiotics.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me get this straight. We've just heard what's wrong with your leg and knee, which is not good. Okay.
That's the other side. That's my right knee.
Oh, that's another problem altogether.
Yeah, this is my left ankle.
Where
all the screws were.
Where all the screws were. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then we have you, okay, with that. Then we have Phil with his removed prostate. We have, he's gone right now, Jeff, who has does he have one of those?
Heart valves.
Heart valves.
Yeah, he's got that heart thing, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Patrick, who is really a textbook.
Yeah, out of the 4 of us, we might get one good body.
You know something? I suddenly realized you're right. I am the only one here who's completely well.
Now,
you feel better?
What? I do feel better. God, you people are fucking mess. What?
How about these?
What are those?
That's
It's
his
a pacemaker.
Oh, that's a pain. Oh, is that a pacemaker?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want to implant some kind of pain thing in my back.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a pacemaker. That's a pacemaker.
That's Legend model. Pretty good.
Yeah,
huh?
but it says Amazon on it. What is that? It's just one of their house brands. Yeah.
So,
okay, and what's the other thing?
Yeah.
And this is an aortic valve.
Hold it up. Hold it up a little higher.
Hold it up a little higher. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, wait a minute. And you had it mounted, and what does it say on the thing there?
It says Bjork Shiley heart valve.
Oh, really? Okay, but that's not one that was in you, or is that one that was in you?
No, this is not the exact one that I had.
Yeah.
But it's the same. This is kind of a model that they used to give away as a gift.
Keep talking. We just got 2 more people with this talk. You know.
See, Phil, you should have had him give you your prostate.
I just have numb feet. I had the kidney stone was the worst thing I've ever been in the hospital with. That's it. You know. So fuck all y'all. I should be happy with life, and I'm the most miserable of all of you. So I don't understand this. What's wrong with me?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yes, Patrick.
I gotta say, the worst thing that I ever had was a sore on my hip after becoming paralyzed. Yeah. And paralysis was not the worst thing in the world for me.
Really?
It was this sore that happened because of some ill advice that I got from it was either an NP or a PA at the wound clinic, where it was just a pea-sized wound, and then she gave me some bad advice, and it ripped it right down to the bone. Wow. And I ended up being on bed rest for a month back in 2010, I think. That was worse than becoming paralyzed, because at least with paralysis, I was able to get up into my chair and go do things. Laying in bed for a month, you may as well put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. That,
Jeez.
Well,
yeah, so
bad for 2 weeks, you know, laying in bed. Hey, Faye, I want this. Faye, get me that. Faye, my feet feel numb. Can you massage them? It was okay.
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Hey, by the way, folks, we could use some more callers here. Anybody else out there sick or have something wrong with them?
Hey, you know, we got plenty of cripples. What we need is some blind guys and some crazies.
We need, well,
Alex's waiting room.
No, this is amazing. I stopped to think about it. Everybody here has something, you know.
We're getting older. If your audience was 18 again, you know, 18 to 35, nothing happens, you know, unless they get in a car wreck. Us, we're in the.
How do I appeal to the younger people and get rid of you guys and not have all this infection and, you know.
And pus.
And diaper wearing and, you know, heart valving and, you know, all of that. How do I get that audience that only has a problem because last night they could only ejaculate twice instead of 3 times?
Yeah, well, you buy them on Twitter.
Yeah, yes. Patrick?
Well, and the cool thing for me is next Saturday evening, I will be going out for my annual steak and lobster, because it'll be my anniversary. 15 years.
Every year, he on his paralytic day, I guess that's what you would call it, on the DOP, Day of Paralysis. He takes himself out for lobster and steak and celebrates it.
Is it always the same restaurant for this surf and turf delicacy?
Yeah, I try to keep it on the same deal.
Do you guys have a Ruth's Chris where you are? Because they've got a $39 lobster and petite filet mignon. It's a really good deal.
We did have one, and it went out. It left. So
now wait a minute, Phil. What restaurant did you just recommend?
Ruth's Chris.
Yeah, you did pronounce it right. Now, hardly anybody ever does. They go Ruth Chris's, but it's Ruth's Chris. Now, why is it Ruth's Chris?
Well, I do happen to know.
Oh, well, tell me, because I would love to know.
There was a very successful restaurant called the Chris Steakhouse. And what happened was this guy would sell it, people would run it into the ground, and then he would buy it back. And he did this several times until Ruth, and I forgot her last name, bought it and called it Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And she's turned it into the mammoth chain that it is today.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, fine. That's great.
But I don't remember her last name. But You know, it's one place where you can get a meal that's consistent anywhere in the world, and it's good.
Really, I've never been there.
No, the steak is got a lot of butter, which I like.
Yeah,
and you would too, being on Atkins.
Yeah.
And they serve it. It comes out 500 degrees, and it's sizzling, and it's just delicious.
That's really good.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I'm still on my diet, and I'm still doing low carbs, right? And I still can't lose weight. All of a sudden, I've hit this plateau. This just, you know. Now maybe when the weather gets better, and I can go out and take some walks and stuff, you know, I'll improve. But you know. But then again, I've got a what do you call it, torn meniscus? Does that count at all for this? No.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, semi. Yeah, hey, you know, why don't you go on Amazon and get one of those not stair stepper? It's the slider one.
Yeah.
Where you it's almost like a cross country thing. Yeah. It doesn't put any stress on your knees, and it gets your heart rate up.
Really?
And, pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Like I want to exercise. You know, yes, Patrick.
Jerking off gets your heart rate up too.
Yeah, that does help. It gets
you gotta have desire.
Huh?
You gotta have desire.
You know, my wife gets up at least. I know every Saturday and Sunday she's up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and goes to the gym. Huh? She works out. She's constantly been working out, and occasionally once during the week we'll go to the gym as well. And she keeps saying, well, you know, you would lose more weight if you went to the gym, because I belong to a gym down the street. It's just I've never been there. It costs me $15 a month, and I don't have the incentive to go down there.
It's a good place to go if you have to pee and you're out on the street. And you don't go back up to the 8th floor.
Well, I may start going there and just doing some treadmill stuff or something. You know, once the weather's better. It's a block and a half away. It's right next to my pharmacy, by the way, which is convenient. And it's a block and a half away, so I'll take a cab there, and then I'll go in and work out. Yes, Patrick.
I was going to say, why don't you go on like a treadmill? I mean, I run daily in my chair, and I do weights daily.
Yes.
Now, I haven't run in a month because I've got a sore on my heel that I've got to make sure heals up. That I got from some stupid shit. But running for me every day, and then I'll take one day off. So I'll run like 6 days a week. Weights are every day. Treadmill would be perfect for you. And you'd only have to do it 2 or 3 times a week just to get your heart rate up. And, you know, I mean, if you're bored walking in Central Park, the treadmill, they got television sets on them. And you can watch fucking television or the news or whatever, whatever you want.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about you, Patrick. What you should do is take a picture of yourself in the wheelchair, and with a inscription below it, just put it on Facebook because it'll go viral. That says, "This is what happens to you if you don't floss." And that's my joke for tonight. So you know.
Well, I do warn people. I've told some of my older relatives, nephews, and that if you masturbate too much, this is what happens.
Have to wear glasses.
Well, wheelchair, so throw your back out.
Well, you remember the old joke about, can I just keep doing it till I need glasses? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. I got glasses at 10, so.
We're an early bloomer.
I've often wanted to go up to blind people and say to them, masturbation, right?
Hey, that's no different than me wanting to pull down those pants on those guys that wear them around their tuchus,
Why do you want to do that? Are you gay?
De-pants them,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let
people have their fashion, Phil. I mean, believe me, when I was younger, I went with certain. There were certain fashions that I was forced into.
Zoot suits?
No, fuck you. And I'll tell you what they were. You remember the shoes that came out with the thick heels, the high heels for guys?
Yes,
the boots,
platform shoes.
Platform shoes for guys. To begin with, I'm not a short guy, so I don't need them, all right? But I'd go into every shoe store, and you couldn't buy anything else but those platform shoes. So I was forced
to be like
to.
74.
I was forced to wear them, even though I couldn't stand them. You know.
Yeah. That had to be 1974 because I went
because
to,
by 1975 they were out of style. But
right,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I went to this. I went to London and I went shopping on Carnaby Street.
Yeah.
And I bought the stupidest looking clothes, platform shoes, but nobody had seen platform shoes in New York at the time I got them in London. They were fashionable there, and they hadn't really.
Did you own a Nehru jacket?
Yes, but that was before. I had the Nehru jacket. I had elephant bells.
I had two Nehru jackets. One was blue, and the other one was lime green.
Ooh. You must have had to beat the women off with that one.
No, I had to beat people off from trying to beat me up wearing that thing. But I found that with at least one of the Nehru jackets, the blue one, if I wore it open, nobody saw it as a Nehru jacket. So
they were very fashionable.
So you could wear it kind of nicely, you know. I could stand to have it. I'd like. Can you buy a Nehru jacket anymore? Can I? Is there like Bob's House of Nehru jackets or something somewhere?
You know, I bet you
Goodwill.
Those, not
Goodwill.
Might be too old for Goodwill, but I bet you those vintage clothing stores.
Yeah.
You know, period ones. They'd probably be able to get them there.
Yeah, I'd like to get myself a Nehru jacket because I know it would drive girlfriend crazy. You know,
with plaid pants and a white belt and white shoes.
Well, nah, that's Florida. That you got to get the leisure suit. I never bought a leisure suit in my fucking life.
Why not?
Why not? Because I'm just not a fashionable person. Okay.
Yeah. You never had one of those one piece. It looks like you're supposed to work underneath an automobile, but they're for dress.
Something like that. But anyway, so I'm just boy. I just got the allergies are just acting up tonight. Excuse me, folks. But
what changed? Did the weather all of a sudden?
I don't know. You know something? I get this burning thing in the eyes, and I don't know if it's something outside with pollen or whether it's something in this old building. Like mold or something.
Yeah, probably the asbestos. Didn't you say your tear ducts clog up?
No, they tear like crazy.
Oh.
But that is a symptom of dry eye, but it's also allergy because I can tell it's the allergy too because I'm blowing my nose. You know.
Well, I thought of one other reason. There could be some deteriorating bodies in the walls. You said you had very thick walls, and maybe over the 100 years, there's a number of bodies in there that have been sealed up, and now they're starting to deteriorate.
No, but this is such an old building.
Built by the mob, yeah.
I don't think there's an asbestos problem here because I don't think they were using asbestos when the building was built.
Well, just looking around, I don't see anything that would be asbestos. You have now maybe down in the basement. The pipes might be wrapped with asbestos, the steam pipes.
Yeah.
But if you've just got a regular radiator and there's no wrapping around it, there's no asbestos.
There's a little wrapping around some pipes here, but that's about it.
Well, it's probably painted over. And if it's painted over...
No, it's not painted over. It's where is it? I don't even know where it is. One room. There's nothing. There's not asbestos here. I'll tell you something. You pound on these walls. You don't hear any hollowness in these walls.
Sure.
I mean, this thing was built to last.
Yeah.
You know. But that's the shame of what they've done with a lot of these apartments is they have put in hollow walls. You know, and torn down the concrete ones, and it's terrible. It's just terrible.
Now, the worst that you could have is maybe some lead paint, and as long as you're not sanding it, and disturbing it, it's not, and eating it.
Well,
It's
I'll
not,
tell you what we do have. If I were to go and some of these rooms, I can't even close the doors on the closets, some of them, because the paint is so thick on there, and it's been there for 118 years. Wow. And if I were to like get one of these heat things and kind of start stripping the paint, I would see all the layers. It would be like the rings on a tree. You know? Yeah.
There are proper ways to remove that stuff and not get yourself sick.
Oh, I know. Anyone. Well, if we could get some money, I would restore this apartment in a lot of ways. And what I would do in the bedroom is I would remove all the paint that had been painted over those closets. You know?
Yeah, they're probably beautiful wood underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but what happened was as the years went on, people came in, they just painted over the wood, which was terrible. And I still have all the wood in the dining room and wood in the living room, but the rest of the place, it's all, you know, painted up and stuff.
Probably looks the same as what you've got there, except it's underneath everything.
I suspect that as the weather gets a little nicer, you ought to be going out with your video equipment and take some movies. So I know you like to do those.
I had one other idea for you, Alex. Have you ever heard of something called a negative ion generator?
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yes, you could get room-size ones that you could put in this room. Obviously, you spend a lot of time in. They're basically air cleaners, and what they do is they filter the air with negative ions, and out comes the clean, and in goes the dirty. I bought one at Sharper Image. There's no more Sharper Image, but I think you can get them at Brookstone and probably online. But basically, it's an air cleaner, room size. You put it in the room, and that might make the difference.
There's some question as to whether they work. Well, you have one. Does it work for you, Kevin? Well, apparently it doesn't because you don't have it plugged in.
Is that a fan?
This one's dirty. I haven't cleaned it. I got one plugged in downstairs.
Yeah, and what do you think of them?
It seems to work, I guess. You know, I don't.
I mean, it can't hurt.
That's a ringing endorsement.
You know, the problem is I got it in a big room, so I can't tell one way or the other. I got 2 cats, and it seems to help.
You know what I always wanted to do was, like in this room, put in a dehumidifier.
Yeah.
And then on the other end of the room, put in a humidifier.
Well, it's sometime in the winter.
Just sit here and see what happens. I mean, start raining in the middle of the room or something, you know.
2 fronts.
Start a rainforest.
You know, if you may be experiencing low humidity also. And so if you had a humidifier in there in the winter, that might make the difference. Maybe you just dried out.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go out and buy all this equipment on the possibility that it will help my eyes not itch, right?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I mean,
they're not expensive.
Or once I buy them and it doesn't work, can I send you the bill and will you reimburse me
buy it
for
on
all
Amazon,
your wonderful advice? But you don't want me to. You don't want me to shop at Amazon because they're ripping off the post office, according to you, and they're putting the small businessman out of work.
So take it, get it at Costco, buy it at Costco online, have them deliver it to your house so you don't have to schlep. I just bought a sofa.
I mean, you do realize that the other thing that Amazon has done is made my body atrophy, because I used to go to Best Buy to buy stuff, and I used to go across town to get this thing or over there to get that thing. Now I just order on Amazon and wait for it to come to my front door, and I just sit here like a slug.
Yeah, well, it's like Marjorie was saying about the Wall-E movie, you know, Wall-E.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think maybe a humidifier and a room negative ion generator. It's like an air cleaner.
Yeah.
And you know,
and for kicks, I should get my prostate removed.
Yeah.
What do I need it for?
That you don't want, but that might make all the difference if this room is.
It just amazes me. I got to say this again, folks. It just amazes me that they have not come up with the technology to, you know, that once they pull out the prostate, they put something else in there so that Phil doesn't go around peeing his pants all the time. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you would think with all the science, but to me, urology is such a klutzy business that they haven't come out with any sophisticated forms of this thing. They've been doing the same operation for the last 50 years. Right? Am I right,
There's
Jeff?
this machine called a Da Vinci. Da Vinci.
Well, did you use Da Vinci?
Yeah, that's what they used.
That,
or at least they showed me the Da Vinci, and then they wheeled me in, and they used a crowbar.
Yeah, right, exactly. They shoved the vacuum cleaner nozzle up your ass.
Yeah, I would have had to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
one of the inventors of Da Vinci
Yeah.
sold his company, I think after the first 10 years or something, even less. Well, now the Da Vinci patents are all active, or they're old enough that anybody else can start using it.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's going to be like 6 different companies who are going to compete at this point, with all little bit improvements and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think mine was designed by Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they said yours was really big, huh?
135 milligrams.
I mean, how does that compare to an average prostate?
Average normal prostate, 30 milligrams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, how many milligrams are in an ounce? You know,
I have no idea, and I don't care because I don't want to be able to completely understand how big or small your prostate was.
I don't have my cell phone.
Normally, it's the size of a walnut. Mine, grapefruit.
I want to talk to all the young people who might be listening to us this evening and hearing this, and I don't know why we have so many people viewing it right now because nothing much is happening. It's not like Phil is showing us his prostate.
See?
But what happens, kids, if you're listening to us, as you get older, the conversation you would normally have at dinner goes away from, have you gotten laid recently, to, well, I went to see my doctor or how much are you paying for Xanax? Or, boy, I found this doctor. It always, when we go out with our older friends who are like in their 70s, okay, am I right, Jeff? The discussion invariably goes to medicine.
If I went to school in Miami, and I worked as a security guard when I was going to school and a couple of other things, and you'd see all of these retired people down there on the shuffleboard and talking about their operations. And I used to think, oh, my God, what a conversation. What are these people? My scar is bigger than your scar. Now I understand, and if I would have been smart enough and learned then that maybe I should have taken better care of myself, I would have been in better shape.
When you were younger and you go out with younger people, what was the discussion at dinner? Boy, did I get a great blowjob last night, And
got any Coke?
and now it's, I swear to you, I've come up with this one myself. Boy, this new pharmaceutical plan we've got is saving me 2/3 of what I was paying. Well, that's the most happy moment of my life lately. Yes, Patrick.
Well, I had a couple of weeks ago 2 of my buddies over, and one of them is 49, and the other one is my age, 42. And the intent was we were going to watch a movie. So they came over at like 7 o'clock, and we ordered food, and we never got to the movie until like 10 o'clock because for those first 3 hours, we were discussing health issues. My one buddy had some lesions removed from his back and off of like the side of his neck, and another one had some precancerous or what do you call it? And so we're just talking about that, and I was laughing, and I said to them, you realize none of us have reached 50 yet. My one buddy near 50,
wow.
But so then we were talking about drugs and not recreational, but what are you taking for this? So it invaded my group of friends too, in their 40s and near 50s. So
it doesn't get any better.
It's
That's where it all starts. Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is, kids who are listening to us, and by the way, the numbers are real good now. Keep this up with all this talk. Kids, this is what's going to happen to you. You don't think it's going to happen to you. I didn't think it was going to happen to me, but now I find it is. Okay? I also find there are several things that you have to get used to as you get old. To begin with, you never get out of a chair without making a sound. Okay? Every time you get up out of a chair, you go, really? Yeah, invariably. The other day, I was getting up out of bed, and I grunted, and I said, can I get out of bed without grunting? Why do I grunt every time I get out of a chair or out of a bed? Am I right, Patrick? And it's going to happen to every one of you. It happens, you say, oh, well, that happens to my grandfather. Wait till you get to be your grandfather's age, if you're that lucky.
You do this all the time too, right?
Yeah, well, the kids get off my lawn thing is another thing altogether, all right?
Just you wait.
Yeah. I get mad at people on the street in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning who are yelling and screaming on my street corner.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody living in this big, huge building that they're standing in.
No consideration.
Yeah.
Where I'm at, there's like 4 condominiums. The one across the street has 120 units in the building.
Yeah.
4 stories high. And it seems to have a lot of young owners. And they're always getting home at 2:30 in the morning drunk. Some argue, some don't. There's the occasional pushing match.
Mm-hmm.
So I look right out at it. And no one has any consideration for anyone anymore.
Well, I mean, that's, but that's because you're older. Everybody else is very considerate if you're younger.
Yeah.
It's the you kids get off of my lawn symptom. Here comes Tim. I wonder, does Tim have anything wrong with him?
He has a conspiracy.
Let me ask him here. Hold on a second. Wait till he catches on. There we go. Tim, are you there? Tim? No, Tim is not there.
It's a conspiracy. They've taken.
Yeah, the Russians got into his line.
Yeah, the Russians got into his line. Right.
What's this stuff about the kid hog going after McCain, claiming McCain is the largest recipient of NRA money in the country?
I didn't hear anything like that.
Yeah, it's David Hogg goes after McCain. Let's see. Who is okay? Why do you take so much money from the NRA? And
well, I mean, it's a good question to ask. If you're someone who doesn't want to see, wants to see some gun legislation happening, and you've got a bunch of people who are taking money from the NRA, it's a legitimate question to ask. It's not being cruel or anything like that. It's not like, well, Laura Ingraham. Let's talk about Laura Ingraham for a second.
All right.
Has lost what, up 5 advertisers now? 6, more than that.
It's up to 8 now.
It's up to 8. I think she's going to be out at Fox pretty soon. I mean, that was...
maybe they needed to sell more time, and now there's an open book for those spots, and they can take on some more advertisers.
Yeah, but they'll have to sell them at cheaper rates.
Not if they sell them to the NRA.
Huh?
Not if they sell it to the NRA.
Oh, right. I didn't stop to think about that. Yes, Patrick.
One thing that has really annoyed me about, especially Hogg versus these other kids, is now with the Laura Ingraham thing, if you want to act like the adult and you want to play in the adult arena and you want to be the grown-up, you're going to get criticized. And it's the same as the kids of a president. If they put themselves in a situation where it's political, they should be open season. If they don't, you leave them alone. And this kid is putting himself out there, and You know,
I don't disagree with you on that particularly. I mean, I think this Hogg kid is very articulate. Marjorie, when she first saw him, said he's going to grow up and be a politician. You know.
Yeah, unless he makes a mistake.
Well, wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me get my thought across here. But what I found about him is I think he's getting a little full of himself. You know, it's like all of a sudden there is the spotlight on you. And I've got to tell you, the spotlight is very addictive. Mm-hmm. And once it's shown on you, you become very addicted to it. And I think he's become addicted to it. And I think that he's a little full of himself. Now, what he's saying is valuable, and he's very articulate and all of that. I would agree with you up to a point about the Laura Ingraham thing, except that she went after him griping about the fact that he supposedly was crying about not being able to get into various schools. And that wasn't what he was doing at all. I heard the show he did it on. He was just, they called him and he said, yeah, they didn't, so I'll apply to other schools. So what she did was kind of wrong in that she was just misinformed. But she did apologize, and I'm not here to defend her, but she did apologize. So
my response to the whole thing would be tough shit. Once again, you're playing a grown-up, so act like a grown-up and take the criticism. But, I mean, if you can't take the criticism, then take yourself out of the spotlight.
Well, I think what he should have done was just ignore it. By the way, Tim's trying to call, but every time I try to put Tim on, I can't get him on the air. So,
What's this headline? Stephen Colbert apologizes to Trump. Is that a fake news item?
It could be.
No, it's satirical. He did apologize to Trump because apparently Dana Carvey was on the show and was playing some character, and CNN mistakenly said, "Look who was on SNL," and Colbert said, fake news, CNN got it wrong. I agree with the president. I apologize for criticizing him because CNN is fake news. And all CNN did was assume because Dana Carvey was there, it would SNL versus. So.
By the way, Tim has joined us. Tim, what's your conspiracy of the night?
Good evening.
Yes, what is your conspiracy of the night? Let's get it out of the way.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in college, I was part of an environmental group.
Yeah.
And we had strip mining that ruined the land. We got a law passed. Anyway, we had professors from the schools in Ohio that helped us, and their jobs were threatened when they helped us because they get grants from the Koch Industries gives a lot of grants to universities. Yeah. I think he's so outspoken. Some universities may not want him because it could threaten government job money coming in for grants, scholarships, and also corporate money. Because that's what operates the university is all that money coming in.
Phil, do not poo-poo Tim's
I would
conspiracy
think
theory of the night. He has he just gives out. Yeah.
Well, I think the universities would want a kid that is this outspoken, that is this unique. That's what universities want.
Well, that was true back in the 70s, Phil.
Yes.
But now they depend on grants and big corporate donations.
Yeah, I don't think any of it. But I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it was just that his grade point average is like a 4.5, I think.
4.1.
4.1, and I think they want a 4.5. There's so many people trying to get into that school.
Perfect.
Well, I just say that because I had a personal experience with it. I had a professor that had to quit helping us because he was not going to earn tenure.
But I mean, Hogg, to his credit, said to TMZ when he was being interviewed, he said, "But I don't care. I'll apply to a lot of other schools." He says, "Right now I'm too busy out trying to save the world." I think he said kind of satirically. He said
he's better off to not go to school.
Well, I mean, but there is a certain. I think he's getting a little full of himself because I think the spotlight is affecting him. I think a lot of the other kids are handling it, shall we say, better,
Yeah, of course, he was the editor of the newspaper, so he kind of...
Yeah. Patrick?
He's addicted.
Patrick?
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, the short-haired girl, she'd out front, she'd got her mouth going.
Go ahead.
But
You can say you think she's hot.
No.
No, not that. Her haircut's a little too short.
I like hair that short. I like
got
hair.
that Sinead O'Connor.
I like hair that short. Plus, I find her to have a certain sex appeal because she is so outspoken and does it so well. You know, she's very genuine.
Look.
What?
Che Guevara look with short hair. You know.
Che Guevara didn't have that kind of haircut.
No, with short hair. He had long curly hair, but you know she has that look, that revolutionary look. You know, the revolutionary Cuba.
Good for her. You know, I think she's adorable.
Well, one more thing to get you back to medical. It seems that Arnold Schwarzenegger underwent emergency heart surgery today.
Yeah. What happened is he went in to have a valve replaced, I think it was. I don't know if you heard this story, Jeff, but it might be of interest to you. Went in for a valve replacement, and when they got in there, they found that they couldn't remove the valve that easily, and so they had to go in and do open heart surgery on him.
Wow.
And so he had open heart surgery. So now he's a member of the Zipper Club. And
Join the
yeah. I'm sure he had a heart problem a while. What was it when he was?
Yeah, it was back in the 90s.
When he was doing Batman, Mr.
Really?
Freeze. Yeah, he went in and had a valve put in or something like that, and it didn't. And they said it wouldn't last forever, and that it was maybe time for them to go in and replace it. And they went in and they found they had to do a whole open heart thing. So, but he's fine supposedly, and he'll be okay. What do you know about this, Jeff? About this sort of thing?
That happened to me.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Jeff knows about this a lot.
Well, I was going to tell you, if it was like 15 years ago,
yeah,
since he had that last valve,
yeah,
and it was a porcine valve or a pig valve,
yeah,
they don't last forever.
Right.
So they probably, in doing a little bit of studies, they said, I think we better open you up and put a new one in.
Yeah.
Tim said it happened to him.
2005. I went in for a stent, and they woke me up from an anesthetic just long enough to say, we're going to cut you open. See you in a couple of days. So I didn't have any time to think about it.
Yeah.
They just kept me.
Yeah. Well,
it takes a lot out of you.
Oh, so you've got something wrong with you,
the
too.
open heart surgery is, it really knocks the shit out of you. But since I've had surgery on valves, on the same valve, I've had 3 of those. And there's actually 2 valves, one on top of the other in my heart. And they're putting them in now through a catheter through my throat. And those are great because you feel you can go home the next day.
Wow.
Wow.
What a wonderful world.
Well, so now, so Tim has not broken the rule of tonight's show, which seems to be people who have something altered in them or some major surgical
none of
problem.
us are going to have to worry about this after this weekend because the Chinese have a satellite that is plummeting towards Earth, and they don't know where it's going to fall.
Yeah.
So
Michigan's in part of the path. It's a possibility that could fly over Michigan.
That could be an improvement.
Possibly.
Gee, I was hoping for Miami.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's amazing. You know, these things come back. They're out of control. Not like Elon Musk's rockets, huh?
How did the latest one go?
Well, no, I'm talking about the 2 that landed back down on the pad.
Oh, that's great. That was spectacular.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And he sent one up the other day, and it's part of the mission to Mars thing that they're working on.
Wow.
He'll get to Mars.
If the device is from China and it lands in Michigan,
Yeah.
We can sell the steel and the aluminum
back to the Chinese, but there'll be a tariff.
Yeah. I know.
Elon Musk was sending back up to Mars the keys for that Tesla.
For the Tesla, yeah. No,
You forgot the keys.
I'll tell you something. Well, he won't be alive to see them, I think, get to Mars. Although he might.
Older guy, isn't he? He's in his 50s?
He's claiming he wants to try and do it within the next 10 years. But it's at least a 2-year trip to Mars is the problem. That's the biggest problem.
Imagine how many airline miles you get for that.
A lot. No, because I know this. I was like a geek about this, right? The Earth is at its average 93 million miles from the sun.
Right.
Mars is 144 million.
From the sun.
From
but
the
how
sun.
far is it from us?
Well, the difference between 93 and 144, which would be 44 plus 7 is 51 million miles. Is the difference?
And on one tank of gas,
72 times.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'd have to change my oil 72 times.
Yeah, and I think let's see here. I think what was Venus? Was Venus like 43 million miles from the sun? And of course, Mercury is the closest to the sun. It's about 28 million miles from the sun. It gets very hot there, very hot there. And then let's see, Jupiter. Well, I used to know all of them. I used to know all the distances, but I do remember Mars at 144th million. Now there's an apogee and there's a perigee, how close and how far away you are, and those vary, but the average is 144. The moon is 239,000 miles away,
around the corner
at its average.
Yeah.
How come they don't have a Holiday Inn there yet?
Why did I ever remember these things? I guess because I was so into astronomy at the time that these were figures that were meaningful to me. And when you talk,
teachers need to remember it.
Yeah, 239,000 miles is not very far in comparison to all the other places.
I remember in history they said, when was the War of 1812? And so I got it wrong.
You got it wrong. Yeah. I really, I really was into astronomy. That was my big deal.
Have you heard the latest news on astronomy? They just found a galaxy that has no dark energy.
Really?
Or dark matter. So now they got to rewrite the whole way they explain, from quantum mechanics on up, because it doesn't match any of the theories.
If it has no dark energy, the Reverend Al Sharpton is going to be very upset.
Yeah.
Now that's racist.
No, it's fun.
Dark energy matters.
The dark energy matters. Yes. Well, wait a minute. What is dark energy exactly?
Well, if you do all the calculations based on all the formulas we have, there's something out there that we can't see that's affecting the movement of all the stars.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's in other words, it's dark matter. It's kind of invisible.
Is that the stuff?
It's invisible to us, but we can only see in 4 dimensions. So it could be in another dimension, or it could be the string theory. There's something, but the current theory though is there's dark energy, a lot of dark energy, not a lot of dark matter, and it affects how everything moves, and it's pretty consistent through the universe. But they found a galaxy where it doesn't exist.
String theory goes along with quantum mechanics and so on, which seems to say that there are upwards to 12 other dimensions beyond ours, that there are the repeated, like there are, say, 12 Earths out there, and on those 12 Earths are all of us. But
I can explain a different dimension real quick for you. Is it dolphins or sharks that have a 6th and 7th and 8th sense? They can sense magnetism, and they can sense vibrations that's not sound. They can sense bodies, vibrations that aren't necessarily sound. So they have other senses that we don't have.
Yeah, well, I have a sense that that a lot of you don't have. I can sense bullshit. It's
dolphins do have. That's why they use them in these.
Well, they use a version of sonar.
Yeah, but they actually in World War II, didn't they use dolphins in torpedoes, or had something to do with torpedoes?
No, actually, they looked into ways they could use dolphins, but
because dolphins they can teach them syntax.
My favorite thing about dolphins was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, to the Galaxy. Dolphins turned out to be the second smartest creature on Earth. Humans not being the first, but being the second. And at one point they sense that the world is coming to an end, so they all leave the Earth and just fly up in the air and leave. And all they left behind was a note, "So long and thanks for all the fish."
That's another book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for all the fish.
Yeah, so long and thanks for all the fish.
Well, I wonder where the physicist that died is that now?
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking.
He made some weird predictions recently.
Like about where he was going to be when he died?
Oh no, about the future of humankind on this planet. So.
Well, I think at the rate we're going, we're not going to be around as long as we should be.
Well, some people are saying 100 to 200 years.
Yeah, I think that we have treated our home very badly, and Earth is stronger than we are, and it will survive no matter what we do to it, even if it has to wipe us all out and start all over again. And the very What?
Did you see that documentary on the plastic in the ocean and how sea life?
It's horrible. It is horrible. They say
cut bellies open and they're full of plastic.
They say that the plastic sphere out there is
twice the size of Texas.
Twice the size of Texas. Plastic
in the Pacific. Yeah.
And
they show or something is supposed to.
Yeah, they show bits of it, how sharks and so forth have bitten it and eaten it, and that I'm going to be diving with tiger sharks next year, and out in no cage. And the thing is, tiger sharks will eat anything. They eat license plates. It's amazing what they find in their stomachs, but the plastic is just killing these things.
Yeah.
Well, there's also nano pieces of plastic in anything that's packed in plastic, like water and juices. From the processing, there's tiny little pieces of plastic.
Yeah. Is that the chemical in the plastic bottles that once the plastic is exposed to the sun, it releases?
Well, my old friend, no longer my friend because he never calls me and never talks to me, David Feldman used to have a line which I loved. He said, "Plastic is biodegradable. It's just you're too anxious."
Hey, I found the two senses that sharks have: electroreception, which is electromagnetic forces, and lateral line. It's in Wikipedia.
Oh, okay, good.
Which we don't have.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Hey, listen, thank you so much, Kevin. Always love having you here. Don't lose that leg too soon, okay? We already and Phil, you're on the mend. That's good. Tim, great to hear from you again tonight. Jeff Stein.
Well,
thank you. Happy Pesach. And the same happy Pesach to you, Patrick, even though I know you're not Jewish, okay? All right. Why don't you all wave goodbye to everybody so they can wave back. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our Citizens Panel for Friday. We thank them for calling, and you can be part of the Citizen Panel too. So next time we do it, which will be on Tuesday, you should think about giving us a call, okay? Coming up next, The Intersection with Jack and Amy. After that, will be at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, the show Connections, which comes to us out of Florida. And then we will be back here on Tuesday, starting off with the batting order with Damian Chaplin and the Exchange, quickly followed by, me. Same time, same station in life. I'll see you then. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye.